Make like a Mr. Milquetoast and you'll get shut out. Make like a Mr. Meek and you'll get
Come Blow Your Horn,
shut out.
1963. Sinatra plays a swinging bachelor in a penthouse, but underneath the jokes and jazzy suits, it's a story about growing up or pretending not to. Yeah, it's dated. The women are written like side dishes, but there's charm in the chaos. Like a salad with just the right bite. That's what this is. Newman's Own. Real flavor, no fluff. Because every salad, like every story, needs soul. Tastes like comedy, crisis, and a hint of oregano.
Let the movie speak.
Welcome back, everybody. This is, I believe it's called Let the Movie Speak.
I think that's what it's
Pretty
called.
sure that's what the man just yelled into all of our ears. We are midway still, trekking through the 60s series. And I will say we are in a period of this list, Annie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Travis. You're Annie.
I am. You are.
Thank you. We're in a period of this list that feels like the most 60s stuff. Like some of the most 60s-tastic, for good and bad, I would say.
Yes, we're hitting like peak 60s style.
And like I'm realizing that there are some, this is stupid. There's similarities in one movie from the 60s and others. Duh. But I mean like there are whole like looks and feels and like sounds of a lot of these movies that like, man, you wouldn't ever do that after the 60s.
No.
You know, and it's all just part and parcel. We're talking about a movie that I'm sure you all know and love. It's got to be close to all your hearts. And it's got one of the most famous people who ever lived in it.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, he's in it. He's in like the whole thing. Like
This is his movie.
This is his movie. I was a little surprised by that because I've seen him in other stuff, and he usually gets plopped into an ensemble.
Well, I mean, usually he's like the friend who sings.
Yeah.
And in this case, he's the main guy who doesn't really sing.
Well, we'll get there. Yeah. It's an odd choice. And it's got him and some other people. A couple faces that you've seen. We'll talk about Come Blow Your Horn, which is a movie. It's a whole movie. And that is the name of it. And but before we talk about Come Blow Your Horn, which we all know and love, it's one of our favorite movies ever. We're going to talk about what we watched this week. Okay, I'm gonna go first because I can't imagine my movie segues into the feature presentation today better than yours might. I don't know what you're gonna talk about, but I went to the movies and well, actually, I'll tell a little bit of a story.
I would love that.
Thank you.
Please proceed.
I took my children to the drive-in because
I love the drive-in.
I do too.
I haven't been in a long time.
Yeah, it's it's still a little janky in some charming ways, but we have one here close to us that is totally like reasonable. It's like
I got lost at the drive-in once.
outside, like walking around.
Yeah, like I forgot there were two screens.
Oh yeah.
And I went to the wrong.
Was it this one here?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
our local one.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find my friend and the car.
What was the movie that you got lost during? Come blow your horn.
No, Wonder Woman. Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Yeah, and what was really bad is whatever was showing on the other
I
screen.
thought you were talking about when you were like 6 years old.
Oh no, this
you were like-
was recent.
You were like a young Annie walking around, and
No,
Gal
I was a
Gadot's
full-grown woman, completely lost, not noticing
Yeah,
that the movie on the screen was different.
which was something.
Well, it was something
what
other
came out
superhero-y.
Yeah.
And so I just spent a lot. I was
Just
just
wandered
pacing
around.
back up, and these people are just staring at me
And
like.
all those aisles look the same. Yeah.
And then I realized, oh wait, there's a whole nother movie.
You're like Woody and Buzz. Okay. Anyway, my kids do a summer bucket list, which sounds darker than it is. It sounds like before we all die after the end of the summer, we're gonna do these things.
That's what back to school feels like.
Yeah, it's just fun things to do, and they do it at the beginning of the summer, and we try to check all the things off. So camping's on there, and the drive-in was one of the things. And so last week, I finally was like, okay, kids, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go to the drive-in because and you go to the drive-in, some of you may or may not know this. If you don't have a drive-in near you, you can see 2 movies, which is like novel. You pay $20 to go to a normal theater and see 1 movie these days, or you can pay like $7 or $8 a person to go see 2. And so I was like, well, it's.
Do you watch 2 on the same screen, or do you just go from one lot to the other?
So they used to like bill it where they would put 2 movies on one screen, so you'd leave your car there. And now they, at least with the movies that were out, they just ran them back to back. So we just moved the car.
You just moved the car.
The second movie. So we saw 2 movies. We saw Jurassic World. Excuse me, it's the world, not the park. Now for some reason, but I'm not talking about that movie today. I'm going to talk about the second movie we saw, which is Superman. Which our screening with my 3 older children, I did not take the 1.5-year-old baby.
I can't imagine why.
Because the second movie started at like 11:50 p.m.
You took your 3 half-grown children
Yes.
To a movie that's a longish movie.
Over 2 hours.
That started at midnight.
Yes. We left at 2 a.m. And it was, I was like, you guys, if you get tired, we don't have to stay for the second movie. And they were like, yeah, okay.
They know you.
You're like, you're going to buy a bag of candy and sit me in.
So did they make it?
They made it. They had a great time. Superman is a movie. It has Superman in it. He flies around, saves the day. Anyway, this is nerdery that Annie is probably not privy to or that interested in, but the new Superman movie is directed by James Gunn. And this guy, he did like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies for...
No, I know who he is.
And he's a writer.
His brother was on Gilmore Girls.
There you go. Yes. His brother, Sean Gunn, is, of Gilmore Girls fame. He's also in all of his movies. He does little cameo parts. James Gunn has like a real particular comedic... I don't know. He's sort of like in the Joss Whedon vein of like...
Well, Guardians. You just watch Guardians and you get
like
that.
Older millennial kind of punk rocker, emo,
lots of
writer
nostalgia.
Guys.
Lots of fun nostalgia.
Anyway, he's taken over DC because they had a whole run of really up and down, not critically loved things.
Well, they got so dark they couldn't go any darker.
Yes, Zack Snyder took us into the abyss.
So they brought in a man who plays with light,
known for levity, and then he did Superman first as his first big movie. I liked it. Like it was a fun movie.
Right.
Like I don't think I like Superman. That's one thing I was realizing.
Well,
like we watched a bunch, like my kids and I watched our way through like all of the Marvel movies up to Endgame. Like over the past few months, we've done that. And like, I really enjoy those movies when they're doing like storytelling well in interesting ways. And then when they're really just commercial pieces, they're like, I hate, I'm just like so bored. But there are core origin story kind of mythology driven things in a lot of those characters that I can latch onto. Superman is not one of those things for me.
No, I mean, I listened to a brief interview with, I think, both of the Gunn brothers.
Yes.
And it's kind of getting at this element of that is why Superman is so hard to do well, is because
he's such a good boy.
He's so good and he's so powerful.
Right.
You have to find a way to make him vulnerable.
Give them stakes.
To create. It's really hard to create stakes with a character that powerful and that good.
And there are Shakespearean elements to his origin story. There are like there's like this grandiose kind of like, my parents sent me down the river like Moses almost, to watch over the whole. And so like it's very, I don't know, like there's a grandness to it that I'm like, just like I kind of check out because it takes itself a little seriously. That being said, all those things are true. James Gunn made a really fun movie, and he did. I feel like he starts the movie, and this is not a spoiler at this point because anybody who has seen or is going to see Superman and probably has heard this. But like the movie, the first thing you see Superman do is like fall from the sky and hit the snow with like a bloody nose, and he like lost his first fight.
Okay.
So they're trying to bring him down to some sort of level of vulnerability. And so like there's things like that where they try to make it like fun, and it's got his like goofy comedic writing and lots of jokiness. I just don't think like I like the Guardians movies a lot better than this because those characters are just like, I don't know, weirder and more interesting in some ways, and Superman's not weird.
Yeah.
He's not weird. Like,
no.
He's just kind of a normal guy, even though he's an alien.
So the Christopher Reeve movies were my childhood.
Yes.
I am of an age.
I've only ever seen the 78, the original one.
Okay, so you haven't seen...
The bad ones. The one with Richard Pryor and like.
Okay, to be honest, I saw them all multiple times as a kid and then haven't seen them again.
Yeah.
So the whole like Kal-El and like, is that the first one?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Like Marlon Brando plays his dad, but it's like a weird cameo.
Yeah.
He wasn't really in the movie that much.
Right. I just couldn't remember which number that was.
I'm pretty. I mean, I've seen that bit.
So
maybe it comes back in Superman.
Yeah, I don't know. So, but I think that is how they made. That's how they made it interesting before. That's how they gave it stakes.
Yeah.
Then was because he's not invulnerable to his heritage or his family or you know it. That's what made it interesting. There's
some subversion of those old origins that you may or may not know that's kind of interesting in this movie. My thing is like two things. Number one, I don't think I really like Superman as a character. I don't know that anybody could make a Superman movie that I'd be like, whoa, that would like rocked me storytelling wise. So that's not really James Gunn's fault. It's it's Superman's fault. He did it to himself. Number two, I did have the thought that because of all of that like darkness, abyss, like let's push it all to the edges of what I did have a refreshing sort of like, I feel good about having my kids watch this movie.
Yes.
Like this is a movie, like it has some PG-13 like stuff in it, but like you can take your kids to Superman.
Right.
Which was kind of nice. Like my son knows nothing. He's never read a Superman comic. They've watched a bunch of Marvel movies, but know nothing about DC characters.
Right.
And then they got like a DC encyclopedia of all the characters from the library. And he's just been combing through it and reading.
I love that.
Yeah, such a dorky little thing.
But I love it.
But it made him so excited to see Superman on the big screen. And he was bowled over. He loved it. Like because it's not like too scary. It's not too edgy. It's just like a fun comic book movie for not just angry 35-year-old guys who want the story told the right way or whatever. So that was refreshing, I would say.
Yeah. No, it made me think of two things.
Yeah.
One, Superman is so clearly a response to World War II and like, the American way and all of that. Like with the other characters, the other superheroes, you can modernize them a lot more, but I feel like Superman is so stuck.
So intrinsically like 1950s.
Exactly. And so taking him out of that is really hard.
Yeah. And it's a modern movie and they're trying to... It does some things that like other Superman movies that are more modern have done too. And it's like, that's never going to be like Superman is in the middle of some kind of vaguely Middle Eastern European like made up countries conflict. And it's like, oh, should we intervene or should we not? And I'm just like,
go away.
Don't need that.
No.
But the weird kind of cosmic fun stuff was cool.
I think the other thing that applies to both of us and probably most people is that we like wit and banter in these movies, and Superman doesn't banter. And, like that's not his. He's not Iron Man. Like that's not his natural.
He's not
vocabulary,
snarky.
right?
And I think that like that's a problem for someone like James Gunn, who's like he's a snarky writer,
right?
And so when you have Guardians of the Galaxy and they're like ragtag, like they're. I remember the tagline in the trailer for that movie was like someone would cut to someone and it was like, "What a bunch of a-holes." You know what I mean? Like it's like they were framed as like snarks. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, he just pushes that onto other characters. Sure. And it was kind of fun.
I'm glad.
Fun for the whole family.
I'm glad.
2.5 stars.
Out of how many?
5.
Oh, awesome.
It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting more stars. I watched something extraordinarily different.
Yeah.
Surprise to no one.
Yeah.
But that actually has a tiny connection.
Okay.
Maybe more than a tiny connection to Come Blow Your Horn. And I watched My Mother Jane, which Mariska Hargitay's like hour and a half long documentary about her mother, Jane Mansfield.
Oh.
And
I didn't know that.
Yes. Okay. It is. I loved this.
Okay.
I loved it. It's been all over social media. They've been pushing it hard, but it's almost 2 hours. So Jane Mansfield, for those who don't know her, she's basically the woman they raised up to try to be Marilyn 2.0. Right. And so, it was the same.
Oh, now that you're saying this, I swiped past something with Mariska Hargitay in like a talking head interview. And I was like, what the heck was that? Yeah. That's what this was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was this incredibly talented girl who had big dreams of Hollywood. and a figure, and was willing to have her hair dyed blonde. And so she ended up having this career, much like Marilyn's, that was based on her image more than her talent, which was she had there. But nobody, that's not what people were buying tickets for. And so she ended up having, I'm going to kind of try to get this. She has 4 kids, I think.
Okay.
And she died in her late 30s in a car accident that I think the older 3 of the 4 kids were in. Mariska Hargitay was 3 in this car accident that killed her mom. She had these, I think 4 kids by 3 men, which all I mean by that is it was a dramatic life. There was just it was a stressful life and a lot of stuff going on. And she had some addiction problems. So Mariska Hargitay lost her mom when she was 3, and kind of did this to figure out who her mom was. Kind of went into it and I need to find out who this woman was. And her investigation of her mom is so honest and compassionate. Like, she doesn't cover over anything. She doesn't try to make excuses for some of her mom's poor decisions, but she expresses all of it with this just extraordinary compassion. And I mean, it's an hour 48, and I think I cried for an hour 45. Nice. But it's so beautiful. And I was just really impressed with how she handled it. And she has talking head interviews with all of her siblings. And it comes out that when she was long after her mom died, when she was in her early 20s, she found out that her father, Mickey Hargitay, who was a famous boxer, not her dad, not her biological dad.
Oh, wow.
And so she then meets her bio dad, who she shows up and says to him, she just walks up to him. And he's a singer, like a lounge singer.
They're all like show busy. Or like
and she walks up, she goes to one of his shows and like goes to see him afterwards, and just walks up to him, and like before she can say anything, he just says, "I've been waiting 30 years or 25 years for this to happen." And so
that's crazy.
But she also, I'm kind of spoiling this, but I'm also trying to convince all of you to go watch it. It's so good. She sits down with her half siblings from her bio dad and apologizes to them for making her keep their secret for 35 years because she's 60 now. And she has never publicly acknowledged that part of her family because out of honor and love for Mickey Hargitay, who raised her, she never wanted to acknowledge, her biological dad and his kids. And so she's just really vulnerable with that too, of just saying like, I did you wrong. And it's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
So the worst moment, and also the moment that makes me want to, I always liked Jack Parr, and now I can't ever like him enough ever again.
Yeah.
She was on... Jane Mansfield was on Jack Parr's show, and she was a musician.
He had like a Tonight Show style.
Yeah, exactly. A late show sort of thing.
Yeah.
And she played the violin and the piano and some other things.
At the same time?
Yes. She had 8 arms.
Yeah.
And so she gets there, she plays her violin, and you could tell she's so happy to be able to like be presenting something on TV other than her looks.
Right.
And so she finishes her violin piece, and she looks up and she's just glowing. And Jack Parr looks her dead in the face and says, "Who cares? Kiss me." We can we cancel Jack Parr?
I think it might be a little late.
But it just so depicts the problem she had. And why she ended up where she was. So anyway, go watch this doc.
It sounds awesome.
It's wonderful.
Okay. What's it on?
I loved it.
Where can people
find
internet. It? The internet. You heard it here, folks.
Google, you'll find it.
All right. So we need to cancel Jack Parr. We can talk about needing to cancel anyone else from Come Blow Your Horn.
We might have a couple more.
Okay. So, this movie we found somewhere on this thing called the internet, which I believe you just mentioned.
I did.
Yeah. Somewhere on the internet we found this on a list of 60s movies, and we were trying to like balance out the list with like, you know, movies people have heard of and movies that are more obscure and funny and dramatic and just, you know, have a bit of variety. And I believe I stumbled across this and I was like, oh, Frank Sinatra's in this movie. And then we found something weird about it, like being released in the 63, but re-released
66
and I swear we found it said somewhere like
that it was recut or re-edited.
Yeah, like it failed the first time, and so they re-edited it and like did things, and then like re-released it under a different title.
But now we can't find that information that we both remember reading.
And we need you all right now to get on your keyboards and get to the bottom of this because there's a conspiracy.
There is.
Anyway, this is a movie that I would describe as a farcical comedy.
Sure.
With folks in it.
Someone
that are supposed to be
might
really
refer to it as a romp. I'm not going to.
A romp. Yeah. It's trying to romp.
It's trying to romp.
Yep. It's an attempted romping. So I don't the background information on this movie is literally impossible. Like you can't until we get to the opening credits of the movie, which I think we should talk about. The intro to the film section, you just heard it because we can't find anything that is like insightful that's going to change what either says what it says in the credits or happens in the movie.
Well, it has some famous names.
It has famous names.
It's based on a play by Neil Simon. It's the screenplays by Norman
That's what
Lear.
I was getting to.
Okay.
This credit, okay, we'll just use this as our intro information because this is literally the only interesting thing that you could say. There's a credit that comes up a few title cards up, and it says, from the play by Neil Simon. And I was like, oh, this is a Neil Simon play. As produced on stage by William Hammerstein.
Yes.
Of Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Yes.
Screenplay by Norman Lear, who is like the biggest like heavy hitter sitcom.
Right.
Like he wrote for
well, he did All in the Family.
All in the Family Mod. I think he wrote for Saturday Night Live back in the day. Like he did like 10 big sitcoms that became like
I think we can say he's the most famous TV
singular TV sitcom writer ever. Yeah. And then directed by Bud Yorkin, which like you look up his credits and he's done stuff. Like you've probably heard of a couple other things that he's done, produced and directed by. So like that title card threw me for a loop because it has like 1, 2, 3, three insane names that don't necessarily belong on the same.
But they're all names that will draw an audience by themselves.
Yeah.
All of them are big enough. And then you put them all together and you think this must be an extraordinary piece of art and entertainment.
Genius, the greatest comedy ever written.
It would have to be with those names attached.
It would have to be. It's not though. So let's talk about what happens in this movie and how all those names are. I mean, like they're there. Like I can see the Neil Simon here, and we'll get into it when the plotting and character work is very Neil Simon.
Yes.
The singular, almost. If this were a play, it would all take place in his apartment.
Right.
You wouldn't have the cutaways to the street or the parents' house.
Right.
It would just be the big fancy apartment that they talk about at times. I don't know. I just think it's funny that William Hammerstein, who's famous for like some of the most famous musicals ever written, he just did this play, which is just a play.
It's just a play.
Like it's just about a bunch of guys being stupid guys.
Okay, so it's built around a family.
Yes.
You have a mother and a father, and then their 2 sons.
Yes. Buddy and what is Frank's name? Frank. Oh, they call him Alan. It's so disorienting to see Frank Sinatra's face and have everybody being like, Alan. It's like, that's Frank Sinatra.
Well, and here's one of them. There's like 12 elephants in the room.
Yeah.
So here's one of them. One of them is that Neil Simon, and as you read his or watch his plays, is always very much pulling on his experience growing up in a Jewish neighborhood in Brooklyn, and like
he wrote a play called Lost in Yonkers, which is like all
and
about
so
this.
like that's what all of his, and this is too, like this is very clearly, but they try to sort of make him Italian because it's Frank Sinatra, but then they give him all these waspy names.
And the mom and dad have like
they're both Jewish actors, I believe. She is for sure.
Lee J. Cobb, I don't know, but like their vocal work is odd.
The mom was most famous for playing Yenta in Fiddler.
Yes, Molly Picken, I think. I don't know if
So,
yes.
and
yeah, she's Yenta from the movie.
Right. And Cobb is most famous for being the original Willy Loman in Death of a Salesman.
Yeah. Lee J. Cobb, you can also see in 12 Angry Men in like a really primary part where his amazing screaming abilities are used in this and that to very different effects.
Right. My point is that like this isn't whitewashed.
No,
it's like they've like flicked little bits of white paint on. It's
mishmashy.
Feeling. And so at times they want to draw on this ethnic identity, and then at times they name Frank Sinatra Alan.
Yeah, and like to that point, one of the things is like most of the time you spend with the brothers or the parents, or a parent with the brother or two or whatever. It's like a very four people basically run the show, and then some other characters bop in and out. I couldn't really make heads or tails of what mom and dad were supposed to sound like.
Right.
They didn't sound like your typical like Jewish mother kind of like.
Well, she's pretty close. Well,
their accents to me were like they felt like thicker and further away. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It was sort of a like rolled, sort of like gruffy. It was again unclear to me if it was like, oh, these two are first generation immigrants from a very specific place,
right,
or whatever. And then the sons are like the most Americanized characters in the world.
I think the mom is playing more recently immigrated than the dad.
Yeah. She's got like she kind of sounds like Yenta.
She does.
Kinda, yeah. And the dad, Lee J. Cobb, does not have this accent. Like when you listen to him in 12 Angry Men, he's like, I am an American man. Like, and I don't think he's putting it on.
No.
Yeah. So it's a little, that whole bit of it, like the fabric of it, which is the family.
Right.
It just doesn't, like in a good Neil Simon play, that all feels so authentic.
I think it's because it's badly cast. So I'm just jumping in.
I think you're right. Yeah. So, okay. Let's
okay.
How does the story start? And then then you can tell me why it's badly cast.
Okay, so you have the parents, and they have a supposedly, that's where we're going to go.
Yeah.
Supposedly 39-year-old son who's bachelor. That's Frank Sinatra. He's been living in the city.
Which you don't see him first. You see the young one first.
But so the young one just turned 21.
Buddy.
So there's an 18-year gap between these two brothers.
Right.
And he is leaving home to go to the big city and move in with his brother.
He's 21 and he's ready to leave his folks.
Yes. And he's ready to fly the coop. And they have a family business. And
don't say what it is yet.
I'm guessing we both have multiple notes with exclamation points and question marks.
The biggest and only? No. Not the only, but the biggest and first laugh I had was when we'll just say it now. When Buddy says to Frank Sinatra, he like goes to Frank Sinatra, Alan, whatever.
Yes.
He goes to Alan's apartment. And he's like, I left home. Aren't you so proud of me? And the brother's like, oh man, welcome, you know. And he's like, I just don't think I can sell artificial fruit anymore. And up until that point, it's like 20 minutes into the movie, no one has said what the business is. It could be they make bumpers for cars.
Sure.
It could be that they paint houses. Why is it that they make fake fruit for department stores?
I missed that line. I didn't get it until the very end of the movie.
The briefcase when full of fake fruit. You missed the line.
I was spending this whole movie being like, what is this family business?
Yes.
Honestly, I think it made it better because then like
the briefcase opened up and you were like, oh, he's
what the
crushing fake fruit with his bare hands.
So I think the crazy casting, if you'll let me go there.
Yeah, go for it.
Is that first off, I mean, yes, there are siblings with 18-year gaps, but
this is a big one.
But Frank Sinatra is playing a 39-year-old. He was actually 48.
He does not look 39.
And he looks 55. He is, you know, as we all know, Sinatra lived a full life.
It's not the years, it's the mileage,
and
folks.
He had the mileage. And so he was only,
for the record, looking pretty good for 50, whatever he is.
He was 49. He was 48.
Looks great. Just doesn't look like 39. Like the character.
He looks like a very healthy 55.
A handsome 55.
A handsome 55. He was only 8 years younger than Cobb. No,
it was only 4 years younger than the dad.
So he's only 4 years younger. So there's one conversation in particular where the father and son are having this kind of fight or argument, but they look like brothers fighting because they're only 4 years apart.
And they do try to age Cobb a bit. They gray him, and I don't know. He's playing older.
And then the mom is Molly Picon is 13 years older than Cobb, who's 4 years older than Sinatra.
But she looks like 103 years old.
Right. And then like the 21-year-old actually was 21.
Yeah. And he looks it.
And he looks it. He's the only person I think who's. Anyway, what I'm saying is you're watching all these family dynamics. Mm-hmm. And you have to have so much willing suspension of disbelief that Lee J. Cobb really is Frank Sinatra's dad.
That's the tough one.
And like the mom, you can because she looks like she could be his mom, even though he looks too old. Yeah, but and then this whole thing of like him being the footloose playboy running around town, and I'm like, dude, like you're a grandpa, like so. Which
is where the movie ends up, sort of. Right,
but I mean, Frank Sinatra should not have done this movie.
Wait, well, I mean, tell that to his bank account. The story is he's the playboy with the nice apartment who skips out on work and is juggling girlfriends. The young brother wants to get out on his own, and so he goes to live with the brother. And this is like basically a story of like the parents kind of like dealing with the fact that they've already dealt with. Let's just say the dad. I really like Lee J. Cobb.
No, he's funny.
And he is super funny in this movie. Yes. Like working with not a lot here, but his character work is just fun to watch.
Yes.
So there's one scene early on where he's just like grumpy man. He comes in and the wife's like, eat your food, and he eats his food and you don't get a lot from him. But then the first time him and Alan, Frank Sinatra, really like have a conflict, he is so like the timing and his movement and his is so good. It is so good. And the thing he continuously yells at the older son and is now starting to accuse the younger son of is like, he's a bum. He's a bum. He's just like, I have one bum son and I'm going to have another bum son. That's his big thing. He just doesn't want to have a bum son. And the whole thing is like, if the older son would just get married and settle down, he wouldn't be a bum anymore.
Yeah.
But he's 39 now. 39.
39. Can you imagine it?
Oh, boy. In his first scene, I just want to point out, Tony Bill is the name of the actor who plays Buddy.
Yes.
That's 2 first names that he has.
That's a lot of names.
But he has two first names.
But his character doesn't have...
His character has
none.
One not...
Buddy's not a name.
It's not even a real name. Yeah, it's a dog's name.
It is.
He is... at times in this movie, I find him like whatever. Like he's fine. That opening scene, this is one of those things I was talking about. Do you remember the scene in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Where there's like the young housekeeper who goes out to meet the pizza guy.
And they're like just like randomly dancing.
And I was telling you when we were watching, I was like, what the heck is this? Meat Delivery Boy.
Yes.
I was like, this is the most stupid 60s nonsense. Like in what other decade would you just have a dance break with like samba easy listening music?
That's like what's the word when it's just like
music?
No, but like when it's not coming from the car stereo.
It's not diegetic.
Yeah, yes.
It's just it just exists in the etheria of this universe.
Right.
Yes. Anyway, there's that feeling that it's pitched to that degree when the first scene with Buddy happens with his parents. He's just like, oh, Mom, I don't know. I don't want these potato pancakes. It's like so much. And I watched that first scene and I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to claw my ears off if he does that the whole time. And then he kind of doesn't.
No, he calmed down.
Yeah, but here's what I'll say. There are times where this feels like snappy Neil Simon kind of goodness.
Right.
And there are other times when it just feels like it is at 12, like 60, it's at a 60s 12.
Right.
And I'm like, I just don't like enjoy that as much.
Yeah. One thing I don't know, I think we don't know, is how much Norman Lear changed.
Yeah.
Because there are elements, like there's this one bit in the middle where the mom is alone in the apartment. She's looking for a pencil and she can't find it. It's hilarious. And she's like,
that is good
with
stuff.
With all of the phones and she's trying to take messages.
So many phones.
And it's hilarious. And then at the end, like, of course, the other son,
he pulls the thing up and there's like 1,000 pencils.
I mean, it's hilarious, but it's so Neil Simon. Like I watched that scene and I'm like, that is like Neil Simon comedic gold.
Yeah.
And if we needed more of that.
Yeah.
Neil Simon was not pleased with what Norman Lear did to his play.
Okay.
But I don't have details about that.
Right.
Like, is that just a pride thing? Like, get your fingerprints off my play? Or is that, did Norman Lear make bad choices, which is hard to believe that he would.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a movie writer, so
right.
like that is a different world. Like he perfected sitcom writing for a whole generation. So I don't know that those people are always good at writing movies. In fact, they probably aren't. But I couldn't tell you. I don't know, man. Like it's an uneven movie. There are times when I was watching this movie where I was like, this is like a enjoyable, silly thing.
Right.
And then there are other times where I was watching it and I was just like, it needs to turn a corner, like moralistically at some point to be worth anyone's time. And then it does. Well, but not in a super satisfying way.
No, I want to give this credit. Yeah. Let's say credit.
Yeah.
I want to give this movie credit because as we have seen with some other 60s movies and will see in the future, is the 60s was in some ways not a great time to be a woman.
It's becoming more evident to me the more we watch these, or it's not like always the most brazen, insane. There are things in those 30s, 40s, 50s movies that we watch that are like, oh my gosh, like it's insane that like your protagonist who you're supposed to love just like went bam and like punched woman in the face, and you're like, now come on, let's go, and you're like, that it's not that kind of stuff. It is the constant like. Every time a female character opens their mouth, you're like, "Oh no!" Like,
well, okay, but
no.
here's I want to go in two directions here.
Yeah.
One, yes, right. Like that's the Jill St. John character, who's the like redhead, the ditzy
Peggy.
redhead.
Yep.
Which actually is what made me think of Jane Mansfield.
Yes.
She's the same sort.
She's like playing the bimbo,
right?
The sex symbol.
And that she's not. Hollywood doesn't allow her to be anything but that.
Sure.
And so, yeah, I was thinking when I was watching this and watching Jill St. John, who was having an affair with Sinatra while they made this movie. Because,
there you go.
You know, it made me think of Jane Mansfield and how they probably had similar experiences. Yeah. However, this movie is about parents who are pressuring their sons to get married and have babies.
Yep.
That's kind of nice. And
I see what you're doing here.
Like, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is you're watching this movie and Frank Sinatra, Alan, is living in this gorgeous apartment. Like, for those of you who've seen Mad Men, like like drapers.
It got an Oscar nomination for art direction, and I'm assuming it's for this freaking apartment set.
Absolutely gorgeous apartment, incredible art. Like clearly took an immense amount of money to buy and decorate this place. And you're thinking, how much fake fruit are people buying in order to finance? It's like Fred's when you watch Fred's and you're like, they're part-time waitresses and they have this loft.
Yes,
whatever.
They save that in Friends.
Yes.
Before you go. Talk about
I
the
know
movie.
it's grandma's.
Well. There's a line in the like closing moments of the last episode of the last season of Friends, which is a show that I like. Yeah. Fine. But this is so good. Chandler's holding like the twins or whatever. Right. And he's like, oh, this is their first home. And you made so many memories here, and they're leaving, right? So it's all weeping goodbye. He's like, and because of rent control, it was a friggin' steal. And it just gives a little bit of believability to the fact that, like, wait a minute, this apartment doesn't. First of all, this apartment doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
So at the very end, I'm watching this whole movie, and I'm like, are they seriously expecting me to believe that fake fruit pays for this?
Yeah.
Especially because the parents are living in a nice house, but not extravagant.
It's just a house.
And basically at the end, as Frank Sinatra like basically hands the keys off to his younger brother, he's just like, oh, this is the name of the wealthy woman who owns all of this. Be nice to her.
If she likes you, the place is yours. Yeah.
Which basically means he's been a kept man this whole time.
Yeah.
And he's offering that opportunity to his younger brother, which...
That stuff gets dicey.
But what I'm saying is like, it's not the women who are being pressured to get married and have babies, and it's not the women who are kept. It's the men.
Yeah.
And I find that an interesting flip for 1963.
That part of it made it not feel just like this is gross the whole time. I felt like I had some permission to enjoy the movie because there was a little bit of subversion happening there, at least. That being said, I mean, Peggy's a rough character.
Oh, yeah.
She's rough. But the other women in the story, let's talk about them because Alan is juggling 3 women.
He is.
Peggy is just
which doesn't even count the woman who owns the apartment.
Yeah, that's true. He's actively in front of our eyes. Has Peggy, who's just sort of like the bimbo-y, pretty younger one. And then he is seeing the wife of a client, Mrs. Ekman.
Something, yes.
Yep.
And
Mr. Ekman owns a Neiman Marcus or all Neiman Marcuses. Or
he reads like a Texas oil man.
He does, but he owns Neiman Marcus, which just doesn't, whatever.
Okay.
He's also seeing his wife.
Yes.
That's the second lady. And then is it Constance?
Well,
Connie.
Connie. You know, the good girl who he ends up with in the end.
Connie wants to get hitched, and she's a singer, but doesn't want to be in show business, and she wants to settle down. She tells him she loves him. She's he says to the younger brother, he says like, no, this one's different, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. So, and I don't know, like there's other stories like this that exist where a guy is juggling women and ends up with the one that they have a real significant thing other than
all the time.
Yeah, that's a thing. I didn't like. I kind of like the Connie Allen stuff in this movie, but not because it's maybe the best version of this I've ever seen. It just feels like a reprieve from that like kind of breakneck, like wacky 60s womp womp womp. Every time they're like in a cab and she's like, "Just tell me how you feel. Tell me the truth."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, these feel like human beings."
Well, and the other 2 women have no long-term intention with him. So he's not breaking hearts, I think is the other piece. We are justifying.
They have they're cardboard characters.
Yes.
They don't exist.
Yes.
Yeah. Peggy dances around for a while. And, you know, the other one is just like the whatever married, you know, randy woman.
Yeah.
that's the slot that she fills in the playbill. So let's just talk about any scenes or sequences throughout this thing. It you know, there's like misunderstandings and the phone thing is kind of slapsticky, and when the dad comes in and talks to them, there's some good comedic timing and movement in these scenes that feel kind of like farcical and play like. I half expected when we looked at the trailer for this and we were like, oh, it's got Frank Sinatra, that should probably be fun, right? He's singing in the trailer. Looks like it might be a musical.
I thought it was going to be.
Well, what even is a musical? Because 40 minutes of this movie, 40 minutes go by, and it's just what we've described. Kind of goofy, whatever. And 40 minutes in, they're walking down the street, and I've forgotten that there was a song involved at all. And Frank Sinatra opens his mouth, and an entire song comes out of his face 40 minutes in. Yeah. I was just like, what the heck just happened?
So, you know that do you think that's what they cut in? Like they added or just like they just needed it for the trailer? Because if you have Frank Sinatra,
he's got to sing something.
He's got to sing.
I think it feels very obligatory. But this is what I'll say about Frank Sinatra. I've only seen him in a couple things. Ocean's 11, the original, is a super boring movie.
Okay.
No one's that interesting in it. It's just the Rat Pack just like just messing around for
I like him in Guys and Dolls.
2 hours. He's pretty good in Guys and Dolls. Another movie that I watched that I'm like, this show has like 4 good songs and the rest of it I'm like, I think he's kind of good in this. Like he is the lead. Like he's not just like and also with Frank Sinatra.
Sure.
No, he's got way more dialogue than anyone. He's being asked to do a lot more like on screen, hold the audience. He has to do slapstick stuff in this movie, which is a thing that I was watching and I was like, I would not expect that Frank Sinatra would be like, sure, I'll do the scene where I'm trying to get my contact lens out of my head. Right. And I'm like plugging my nose and trying to, you know, and like slapping myself on the side of the head. So I think he's actually kind of good in this, like miscast or not. Like he has the Humphrey Bogart and Sabrina problem where he's kind of too old to be playing the character for a couple of reasons. But like apart from that, I'm like, I kind of like him in the movie.
Yeah.
So maybe the song is just this obligatory random thing shoehorned in there. I don't know, but I did also write down near the time that the song pops up because he said like I'm gonna get you new clothes head to toe, kid. I wrote down makeover because it's like one of those montages in a rom-com where they're like trying on different outfits and they're like yes, it feels like that kind of.
I just had to look it up because I didn't trust my memory, but I was right. I remember him from Here to Eternity, which is like acting, like straight acting.
I
There's
haven't
no singing.
seen that.
It's a drama. And On the Town, he was good in On the Town. Now there's a lot of singing in that one.
Yeah. In a musical like Guys and Dolls, of course his voice is going to carry.
Oh, and I'd forgotten. He was in High Society, which is the less good version of Philadelphia Story.
Yes. I agree with that. I like them both, but I like Philadelphia Story more. The one thing that I haven't seen him in that I want to watch, which sounds really interesting, is a movie that has a Saul Bass poster. It looks kind of like the Vertigo poster.
Sure.
It's called The Man with the Golden Arm.
Okay. I haven't seen that.
Frank Sinatra plays a jazz drummer who's also a heroin addict.
Okay.
That all sounds like a yes to me. Don't go do heroin, people, but like that movie sounds, it might suck. But after watching this and watching him like actually act and not just be like, Dean Martin, like kind of popping up in things and being Dean Martin, he's actually like playing a bit of a character.
Sure.
I don't know. I was kind of impressed by his performance in some ways. The phone scene you already mentioned, that's one of the sequences that I just was
With
like,
the pencils.
this is good.
It's so
This
good.
is good.
So good.
Why is there yet another phone?
I know. I love it. Well, it's
That's
because remember when phones had cords?
Yes.
Do you?
I actually do. We never had a cordless landline in my house. We only ever had a corded one. And then by the time my folks got rid of the landline, they just did. We were just cell phones at that point. Yep. I know. When you were all like, oh, shoot, hold on, I have to put the phone down so I can go do this other thing.
Yes.
Or like some people, if they were cool and social, had the extra long cable so you could go around the corner. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. I really appreciated Variety's review. So contemporaneous when it came out.
Yeah.
The first line or first two sentences of Variety's review was, art it ain't, fun it is.
Yeah. It is not striving for a lot. I mean, on the it's not trying to win Oscars, although it got nominated for one.
Right.
I think it really is just like, this is a popcorn comedy. The stuff in the latter half, I would say, like, feels like this is a 2-hour movie that probably needed to be like an hour 40.
Sure.
At an hour 40, this might be kind of a really good comedy, like a tight comedy. I do think that Lee J. Cobb has, number one, an incredible yell. Just an incredible yell. He has that extra volume register when he really opens it up. It's just like, it's shocking. And in this case, it's like shocking in a really funny way, because it'll just be like, he'll do 2 volumes in this movie. He'll be like, oh yeah. So you weren't at work? Interesting. No, I hope you had a good weekend. And just be like, BOOM! Like, it's like just 2.
Well, and he gives them a silent treatment until he starts screaming at them.
Yes, it's kind of great.
My favorite line of his, I forget which kid he's yelling at. I think it was the younger one. And he just goes, I was working when I was 11 years old. I never went to camp. And of course, his delivery is 100 times better than that.
Yeah.
I was working. I never went to camp. Like, who brought up camp?
Yeah, he says a lot of stuff like, are you married? Then you're a bum. My favorite line of his that I wrote down is, if I was in the bum business, I'd want 10 just like you.
Okay, I wrote down a line and I didn't write who said it, but it had to be him.
Name that character.
I just wrote, you want me to throw myself in front of an airplane?
Yeah, he's having fun. I feel like he knows what he's in.
Yes.
A bit maybe, but Mom and Dad, I feel like you could put them with any other actors as the younger, the sons in this, and they would slot in nicely.
Yes.
I don't love the younger guy's performance.
Yeah.
He's a little whiny.
Yeah.
I don't want to sell artificial fruit forever. And then Frank Sinatra's doing okay, but weird in the part.
Sure.
The story goes where you would probably expect it to go. Like, I mean, Frank Sinatra's it does an interesting thing where the younger brother, Buddy, they switch places a bit, where like he starts to take over the Playboy kind of like lifestyle.
Right.
He steals his barber and he's got his tailor working on his suit and all that stuff. And then it gets to a point where Alan is like, you got to be responsible and blah, blah, blah. And he turns into the dad, like in front of your eyes. And then he realizes in that moment, I think just about that he's like, oh, I should probably just marry that Connie lady.
Yep.
And so that's how the story wraps up. He gets married. Everybody's happy about it. Dad talks to him again. He got married, so everything is fixed with these broken people.
I do like that Connie at one point says she defines a housewife as a sleep-in maid.
Yes.
And like I don't want to be a housewife.
Yeah.
And I just went, that felt, I don't know, I wasn't alive in the 60s, but that just feels a little
ahead.
A little pushing some edges. So,
but not like in a preachy way.
No, I mean, this is still a,
this is playing with conventional gender roles. I mean, there is a scene in this movie where they're having a party and people are playing strip Scrabble.
Okay, I wrote that down too.
That's one of those things that I'm like, no other decade
No.
would put strip Scrabble in a movie where
for different reasons.
Yes,
like you can't have. And then they were talking about like, well, anyway, it made no sense. It made no sense at all.
Well, yeah, that game. Never mind.
I think we leave it there.
That's a '60s thing that I was just like, okay, this is dumb.
Okay, can I tell you my favorite like code enforcement
Oh,
moment?
sure, yeah.
Was when I think it was the first night maybe that the younger brother was staying there, and they show the bedroom, and these two brothers are sleeping in single beds in the same room.
Yes.
And I'm just like, no and no. Like, no. No.
Because they can't show two dudes in a bed.
Well, no, but also like, you can't tell me this apartment only has one bedroom.
Yeah.
And then you can't tell me that Frank Sinatra
has
the 39-year-old playboy Frank Sinatra has two twin beds in his bedroom.
You're right.
And so I was like, that is ridiculous.
They're sleeping in the room designed for like your nieces and nephews to sleep over.
I'm like, Frank Sinatra has a normal sized, larger bed.
Yes.
And the kid, if there isn't another bedroom, the kid's on the couch.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah. It's very weird. They like tuck each other in almost.
Yeah. And I was just like, this is not normal.
I was realizing near the end that, and now that you mentioned the Neil Simon of it all, like dad is a little bit Tevye coded.
Oh yes.
And like the sons are like the daughters.
Yes.
In a way that's fun. But like he even has a line where mom has decided she's leaving the house because he's becoming so insufferable.
Yes.
And so she's gonna go live with the boys, and the dad comes to talk to get her back, but he won't talk to them or look at them, like you said. And she says like, these are your sons, talk to your sons. And he says, they are your sons, they are my strangers. It's just like, that is a Tevye line.
I love it.
It's pretty good.
My other, actually, maybe this could have been said up front, but my favorite little trivia behind the scenes of this one was the woman playing Mrs. Did you say Ekman?
Ekman is what I was hearing. Yeah.
Her name is Phyllis McGuire.
Yeah.
It's really good when I do abbreviations in my notes and then don't remember what they're abbreviations for. But she was in a long-time relationship with a man named Sam Giancana.
Okay.
Who was a notorious mob boss.
Cool.
And friends with Sinatra.
There you go.
And so, you're just looking at this movie and you're like, well,
how'd you get that part?
Yeah. We're like, why is, anyway, Sinatra made this movie. You can his fingerprints are all over like the decisions that are being made.
Every scene. He's like the star of every scene. Yeah.
And so, it's like, oh, you got your buddy's wife playing a role and it's all mobbed up and you're playing 15 years younger than you look. But
just singing a song for no reason.
For absolutely no reason.
So, okay. We've talked about what the movie is or how it feels. What do you like this movie? I don't think we've gotten there. Like,
so I said to my mom, she's always like, what are you watching?
Okay.
And then, hi mom. You're listening, because I tell stories about you on here. Usually she says, what are you watching? And I tell her. And then usually, do you know the next word that comes out of her mouth? Why?
Great question. Honestly, half the time, great question.
Great question.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah.
Right on. But she just, this time, she goes, I think I saw that.
Oh, no way.
And then she went, I don't think you need to, or something along those lines, where you could tell like it was like floating in the back.
Yeah.
And she was like, basically, I think what she was implying was there's not much to that.
Yeah. And so that's how you feel. There's not much to it.
I mean, it's like blaming Starbursts for not having enough nutritional value. Like, it's not trying to. So I think
you got to judge it on what it's like attempting to be.
Yeah, judging it on what it's attempting to be, it's a B or a B minus, right? Because it's not Neil Simon's best.
Yeah.
But you can see the You can see the pieces. You can see where he's going. And
there's moments that made me laugh.
Yeah. So I think it's fine.
Super boring.
It's fine. Yeah. It's a fine example, meaning a okay example of what it is. But if you don't like what it is, then don't watch it.
Well, that felt like final thoughts, but now we're going to actually move into final thoughts. No,
yes.
You're good. I asked you a question and you answered it. That's how this is sort of supposed to go. So we need to try to answer 2 questions about this movie. One of them is it worth your time? And if you would rewatch it, how often would you rewatch it? So we'll try. We'll try. We'll try to
differentiate.
Toot our little horns. It's a weird one. I am so happy we chose these questions when we started this podcast because it's so much more interesting to me than being like thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah.
But it's such a sliding scale and it slides in every direction because is it worth your time? Well, what this is to me is it is like one of those perfectly imperfect encapsulations of a decade.
Right.
Like this is the most 60, like the opening credits of this movie. I've talked about opening credits a couple times on the series and I legitimately, I'm going to miss 60s opening credits.
Yes, they're great.
They're so fun and creative and avant-garde and just wacky. They people were doing stuff with opening credits that they just gave up on after that. Yeah. And so if you watch the opening credits and you get into these scenes with this family dynamic and you realize that it's going to be there's going to be a moral at the end, but along the way, you're going to have like some strip Scrabble and, whatever random Sinatra song. It is a perfect encapsulation of the decade.
Yes.
Like this just feels like the most 60s thing that has ever existed in some ways. So if you want to experience that in movie form, it is probably worth your time because it's not as much as the female stereotyping and the like aged wrongness and the casting. None of it is particularly offensive in this movie. It's all like pretty light.
Yeah.
And so it could be worth your time if you're like, I just want to watch something that's kind of funny and really feels 60s.
Yeah.
Sure. Go for it. Second question. No, it's not rewatchable because like you said, it's Starburst. You know what I mean? Like if you eat a hot Cheeto, like now, you don't an hour later need to eat another hot Cheeto.
Well, it's probably a bad example.
You've had your hot Cheeto. That's my point. This is like, you are not going to get anything from rewatching this movie. No. Nothing. Like nothing will be funnier. You're not going to be like, I didn't notice that before. That's so funny. You're going to just notice a bunch of mistakes because this is kind of a like shaggy looking.
Yes.
Nothing is like good looking here. It's very like matter of fact in the way that it's shot. It's very like workmanlike in the way that it's edited. And like the only thing is like when you watch a play for the first time and you learn the story and you hear the jokes and whatever, and you finish the play and you're like, yeah, that was a fun, enjoyable time. That's what this feels. So I would say could be worth your time depending on what you're in it for. And one of the least highly rewatchable things we've ever watched, even though I'm not mad that I watched it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think if you like Barefoot in the Park or, those movies and you want more of it and you're wrapping Christmas presents.
Yes.
Or
this
cooking.
This is like a weird stepbrother of like pure Neil Simon stuff.
It's like have it on in the background.
Sure.
Like I would rewatch it in that scenario.
Yeah.
Like, background noise.
But you're not going to have this on at Christmas time because it's not a Christmas movie.
True. That's true.
It's just going to be like, come blow your horn. Wait, what is this?
I think the parents, Molly Picone and Lee Cobb, are fantastic.
They're really fun.
They're so funny and they're so good. Like I would go watch that scene of her trying to find a pencil in the apartment again.
That's good stuff.
That's really good. But no, nobody needs to watch this.
Nobody needs to watch this. Definitely nobody needs to rewatch.
No, go watch Barefoot in the Park.
Yes. Okay, well, we do have, I think, a redemption Neil Simon possibility on our hands.
We do.
We have The Odd Couple later this season. So that is a more pure Neil Simon product.
For sure.
This was, again, an inoffensive and sort of stupid movie that I didn't hate. So thanks for letting the horn blare in your ears as well. And next week we have something that is also very 60s but very different. It's called Mirage.
It is.
It's got Gregory Peck.
He's tall.
Let the movie speak.
I tell you, bum, it's time to come blow.